So, hello all, welcome to this series where we are trying to understand fan engagement motivation in Indian Premier League. So, in this series, in the third episode, today we have our special guest Sai Siddhar, who is a passionate IPL fan and he looks for talent in the IPL. And the interesting thing about Sai is he belongs to Hyderabad, but he follows Chennai Super Kings. So today we are going to understand that what are the reasons why he follows Chennai Super Kings and not Sunrisers Hyderabad. So without any further delay, first let's start with a very simple question: that what is it that makes you follow IPL so passionately?
Uh, Hello all. Thank you for inviting me, Deep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, just to add into your point, I'm a hardcore Hyderabadi. Love Hyderabadi biryani. Apart from cricket, anything. Apart from IPL, you ask me for anything. Hyderabad is my first preference. Uh, Coming to your question of what makes me passionate about IPL is the immense amount of talent that IPL brings out in people. Not just in terms of, see, for example, I'm not a person who has the time bandwidth and time frame to watch the Ranji Trophy or other emerging players. Whereas as soon as the IPL comes in, it not only brings in the emerging players who are into a larger battleground. It also makes them interact with the legends of cricket and get let them learn from them and make them better players in that short span of time. That is probably a very important element for any emerging cricketer. I aspire to be a cricketer, and it would have been a great platform for anyone I could ever imagine to get in that level of interaction and uh, training, personalized training for them.
Right.
That is probably a very important thing from IPL. Apart from that, obviously the emotion that are associated with it, and especially in this pandemic of 2020, that was probably a very important thing, a very important event to happen for people to at least be happy.
Right, right. Completely agree with that. But I have a question for you. You said that you look for talent in IPL and that's why you follow IPL so passionately. But when it comes to your favorite IPL franchise, Chennai Super Kings, so the MS Dhoni success mantra is that he only plays experienced players in his playing 11. There is no young talent in CSK. So this season was an
Uh,
exception, but usually
yeah.
it's the way. So why CSK?
So I mean, I agree with the point. These are two extreme dichotomy views of where one is looking for talent and the other is looking at a CSK fan. So honestly speaking, IPL is a battleground for talent, but CSK has that element of team which makes it CSK and partly Mumbai Indians as well. It has the essence of team, whereas the other I do not know. I should be saying this. For example, Royal Challengers Bangalore. It seems for me personally as a cumulative of 11 players playing together rather than them playing as a team. So that is that bonding that shows on the playground as well, that they are a group of 11 people who are working towards a common cause. It's not every person playing his best. It's not that way. And coming to your question of talent, I mean, the last 3 seasons, yes, you're right. CSK has been on the verge of uh, at the bottom of 40, 39, and the average age, I guess, has been in 2018 and 19 as well. It has been around 34, 35. But if you see, for example, the two fast bowlers who have come into the international circuit as well has been brought up by CSK, Deepak Chahar and Shardul Thakur. A
Right,
lot, a lot of young talent who come in, Karthik Tyagi as well. Uh, a lot of young talent do come in from CSK, and they get in that mixture of, as I pointed out, that mixture of international experience and super experienced legends, and the mixture of emerging very talented players, giving them the opportunity. The important point there that you'll have to notice is, it because they play as a team, they have a very fixed 11 that also gives emerging player for legends. They do not need so much of confidence in themselves to play, but as
Right.
soon as you include emerging players in team 11, it makes it even more comfortable for people, for emerging players to stay in the team, because they know that they are part of the team, to play as a team
Right.
and take responsibility.
But then, how difficult it is for a player like Sam Curran to come and play for say CSK, where there are so many legends like MS Dhoni, Faf du Plessis, Dwayne Bravo, these T20 specialists playing around, and he is such a youngster. So, how difficult it is for players to perform in such a situation?
That, I mean, that is the most exciting part of CSK. You see, I mean, almost though they have legends, and obviously in every season you see one or the other CSK emerging player who's coming out and performing. I mean, you'll find one talent which has come up from CSK. For example, Sam Curran. The last season it was Deepak Chahar. I think the last but one season, I'm not able to recollect, but that is because of the comfort level that is being given. For example, Sam Curran this year as well, he performed so well for CSK, uh, even though he's just a 20-year-old chap. Though it is slightly difficult to get into the team, you're right. But as soon as you get into the team, you belong to that team. That is the feeling that the MSD mantra gives you.
Right. So, in my previous episode with Aditya, he said that the success mantra for SRH is that each player performs their bit, and and together they contribute towards the team success. But what you are saying is that CSK's mantra is completely opposite. They function as a team, and that even if a player doesn't perform, then there is another player who can step up and perform, and that's what makes CSK so special.
I mean, I think that is one of the key for long-term success. I mean, it might work very well for the 3 or 4 matches streak if you want to win some of the, because it is obviously T20. Even if one person goes on to go big and hits big, it makes it even more challenging for a team to chase down or reach to that level. It is, I mean, unlike the 50 over format, this does have a bit of individual brilliance element having a higher influence. But honestly, I think as a long term strategy, cricket is always a team sport. That is what I believe in. If you're going to build a team rather than build 11 individual brilliant players, I think team will always win over brilliant individuals.
Yeah, completely agree to that. And I think that's one of the reasons why CSK has consistently qualified for playoffs season after season. But this season, the story was completely different. So we'll come to that later. But before that, I
Yeah.
would like to ask you, you are a Hyderabadi, and so you have a team there. So why not support your particular team that belongs to your particular culture, and that represents that Hyderabadi culture and has that kind of essence and flavor?
uh, I don't know if this is a general trend, or if it is just in my smaller circle. Deccan Charges seem to be a really close. I mean, when Deccan Charges was there, it was still CSK, which was equivalent to Deccan Charges. But Deccan Charges, I had a really strong bond. As soon as it changed from Deccan Charges to Sunrisers Hyderabad, I don't know what did not click, and what happened, but there was some element in the transformation from Deccan Chargers to Sunrisers Hyderabad that sort of took me away from the team.
Right, right.
It is, I mean, it doesn't seem to be rational, but this is what the truth is. Uh, right from, I mean, I don't know how important the name is psychologically for people, but somehow it did affect me. How I perceive the closeness towards the team as.
So you started IPL as a Deccan Chargers fan, and then you shifted to Chennai Super Kings, or from the beginning
Uh,
you were a CSK fan?
no, from the beginning, I did have a soft corner for CSK, but over the course of time, it did. I mean, right from the start, it was because of Sachin Tendulkar. Uh, Beginning three editions, it was always Mumbai Indians.
Right,
Because I'm a hardcore fan of Sachin Tendulkar,
right,
much more than MSD or anyone I can ever see on the cricket field. That was that time I was a kid, and it was probably the only reason for me to support Mumbai Indians for that 2 years. But yes, Deccan Chargers and CSK were sort of in the second place. Probably Deccan Chargers had a slightly higher preference over CSK, but over the course of time, CSK has uh, bypassed every other team.
yeah. So what was the reason why Deccan Chargers was your second favorite team? Because at that point of time, they didn't have any heroes back then. Adam Gilchrist was the face of Deccan Chargers, right?
Oh man, come on, no. I mean, I don't know if you remember the first edition. It was the most hyped team
Hype
in
team,
IPL.
right,
It
right.
had Andrew Simons, Ricky Ponting,
Shahid
Adam
Afridi was
Gilchrist.
there,
Yeah.
right,
So, I mean, the first edition, yes, that was there. But as soon as it came to second edition, you had the emerging talent Rohit Sharma playing. And from there only he got, I think he played for 3 seasons or something for Deccan Chargers.
right, right. Initially, he
Uh,
was with Deccan
that was where
Chargers,
his transformation happened.
right,
South Africa, I do remember Deccan Chargers. Probably, I think in the final qualifier, he scored around 24 in the last final over of versus KKR.
right, right,
It did have immense talent.
right. So I think you I think you have heard this term hero worship. So hero worship is more in cricket as compared to in soccer, and people are more of a particular player's fan rather than a franchisee's fan. So in your case, what I see is that, so since you worshipped Sachin, so because of that you followed Mumbai Indians, and later on when Sachin retired, MS Dhoni was the new hero, and so you shifted from Mumbai Indians to CSK. Is it the
Uh,
reason?
uh, I mean, I agree the first part of the statement. That time I was around. I was probably a 13-year-old kid or something. That time he was the hero, and that was the reason for supporting Mumbai Indians. Even though my whole family was with Deccan Chargers, but over the course of time, I mean, honestly, no. Uh, the answer to your question might be no, because CSK had that element, not the MSD element that did not drive me towards it, but the team spirit did drive me towards CSK. And just to elaborate on that, in fact, there was a time when there was that rift between MSD and Yuvraj Singh and others, where I was slightly against MSD, but I did support CSK again.
Right.
So it is more about how, I mean, you look at that bonding within the team on the field as well. That is very clearly evident for them.
Right. Then how important is the team's performance for you to follow the particular team so passionately? So initially, Mumbai Indians didn't perform well in the first season, and a similar story was there with Deccan Chargers. And then in the second season, Deccan Chargers won their maiden title, and then later on there was a CSK streak that came. So did performance made you change your favorite franchises over the course of it?
Performance, for sure, did not was not. I mean, if I apply logistic regression, it was not performance which drove my preferences, but I think it did have a probably. I mean, I might consider it to be non-significant influence, but it did have a bit of influence. But that did not essentially drive me towards choosing one franchise over other. That is for sure. Because, for example, the first season, both Mumbai Indians and Deccan Chargers did not perform that well, and this season the whole of 14 matches CSK was like was a team which I wouldn't be proud of to
Right.
be a part of. But
Right.
still, it was I stick to CSK. So I mean, I'm not sure. Even though the question would have been more defensive, but no, for sure it isn't a factor.
Right. Right.
I
So
mean, if that was a factor, probably RCB wouldn't be having even thousands of fans. No, I don't really. I really doubt that.
right. Right. So so for you, the local culture doesn't matter. For you, the performance doesn't matter. So to some extent, the hero worship matters, and then I think to some extent the talent matters, right? In order to summarize whatever we have
Uh,
discussed so far.
yes, talent matters, and the bonding between the team and how they portray themselves together is something that really matters to me.
Right. So in that case, so in this particular season only, I'll give you an example where the captain of the team, your favorite team, mentioned that he didn't see spark in youngsters. So how did that
Yeah, yeah.
impact you as a fan?
No, I mean, that was probably the strangest thing I have heard from MSD. Because, I mean, I have never heard him saying statements like that anytime before. But, I mean, I do not know what the background reasons were and what was going on in his mind, but it did have. I mean, I really did not like the statement, especially being made. It would have made sense if it was made in a dressing room, probably, but I was upset because it was made in a public arena. And moreover, it was him along with the other people who was chosen those people. And if he did not find the spark, there's no point of him buying them in the first place.
Right.
Yes, it was not a pleasant experience, but it is part and parcel of the game.
Right. Right. So you followed Mumbai Indians for some time, and now you are a passionate CSK fan. So, but when we see that both of these teams have similarities and drastic differences, so
Hmm.
both of these teams are led by star Indian captains, and over the period of time, we have seen that they had Sachin, Rohit Sharma, Kieron Pollard leading the team, and similarly here we had MS Dhoni and Suresh Raina doing the same for CSK. But when we see that Mumbai Indians has nurtured so many youngsters as compared to Chennai Super Kings, so why do you think this is there in Mumbai Indians and not there in CSK?
Uh, yes, on the part of similarities, you're right, but I think the strategy probably is slightly different between Mumbai Indians and CSK, because I mean, I think that is you pointed out a key difference between CSK and Mumbai Indians, and why the Mumbai Indians graph has really been on the high only almost every time, whereas CSK has slightly dipped. This drastically dipped this year because of the mistake. These were the small mistakes, I think, that did happen for CSK, especially because when you know that people are aging and it might be difficult, you need to get in the new talent so that they can come into the circuit, get familiarized with the team bonding, and from there take it over. That
Right.
that is being done very efficiently by Mumbai Indians, but not so efficiently by CSK, probably. Yes, but there are. I mean, in terms of talent, there have been really good talent which have come out of CSK.
Right. Right. I agree.
I think it was largely around one or two people every season, whereas Mumbai Indians has got around pretty many. I mean, Hardik Pandya was defined, Surya Kumar Yadav. There have been many people.
Right. But what is the reason that CSK players have made it into the national team but not Mumbai Indians players? So is it one of the reasons that makes you a CSK fan, that CSK team, so CSK team under Dhoni's captaincy was very similar to India's team?
Uh, there seems to be an endogenous thing here, but yeah, there seems to have been a shift from people who have performed for CSK have been, I mean, if I look at it in terms of probability, probably there seems to be a correlation between people who have been in CSK having higher chances or likelihood to join the Indian team. But not really, because even after coming to the Indian team, they have performed decently well, and they've stayed long enough for them to be sustainable. So that indicates that they are meant for the international circuit, and CSK actually found that talent in them, inherent talent in them, right before they could even jump into the international circuit. So probably they, I mean, it's like CSK found them in, and they gave them the platform, and they nurtured, and then made them ready for the Indian team, and that from there MSD took it over again.
Right, right.
I think
Just
that might be the order.
right. So now, since you are from a marketing background, I would like to understand from you that on social media, CSK team is usually called or known as Dad's Army. So how that influences
Yeah,
the brand image of CSK as a franchise?
Dad's Army is something that they have started in the last couple of years, I guess.
Right.
That, I mean, Dad's Army, recent past, but uh, it did, because I mean there was this uh I mean, as you pointed out right at the start, me looking for more and more youngsters and emerging players, and then looking at this brand as Dad's Army, that was slightly disturbing. But still, even the last 2 years have been people who are coming into the emerging. uh I mean, I'm just trying to get my thoughts all right.
Right, right.
It did, I mean, yes, it did have an effect on how I view CSK, but it probably had a more support on part of mine to be part of CSK, because I didn't want them to be called, I wanted them to show that Dad's Army doesn't matter as long as people are performing.
Right. So I think that's one of the reasons why CSK still retained their fan base, because in 2018 they won their title and 2019 they qualified for playoffs. But in
Yeah, yeah.
2020, the real Dad Army came out.
But I think it got too late for them. They must have made that transition. I mean, it's strange because MSD has been part of a transition, successful transition for the Indian team, and it's strange that a captain in 2008 who took such bold decisions for a great transition, especially for 2011 World Cup, couldn't foresee this happening, even though it was in front of eyes and being pointed out by every commentator in 2018.
Right, right. So
That
now,
was that was probably something they could have done better.
now how do you see CSK in the post Dhoni era? So will CSK retain the same fan base, or without MSD and Suresh Raina, they'll completely lose their fan base and they have to completely build a new team and completely win fans once again?
So if you'll ask, if I mean, there are two things to it. Will I stay as a loyal CSK fan? The second thing is, will a general population have the same loyal base? Coming to my personal preference, as long as that team bond which Dhoni brought in, the essence of team bond is there, probably someone else might take over. But if that is sustained, I most probably might be still a CSK fan. But as soon as it comes to, I mean, my perception of what people might be reacting to it, once the Tala is gone, I think it's really difficult for them to build that brand image again. Especially because the whole of, I mean, if you see CSK's brand campaign, almost since the past 8 to 9 years, it has been on that Tala brand campaign only, as simple as that. And once that is, I mean, it's similar to a celebrity endorsement. The more the celebrity is associated with the brand, and then if you replace the celebrity with, from the brand, it is difficult for people to make that transition.
Right. So, yeah, another marketing question, that there are two ways to build your brand image. One is that you can build the brand image around your Indian core players, or another way is that you build your brand image around your foreign players. Like what SRH has done is
Hmm.
that David Warner, Kale Williamson, Rashid Khan, whereas in CSK it has always been MS Dhoni and Suresh Raina. So how do you see
Hmm.
these two different things, and which one do you think is more beneficial for a particular franchise?
uh, my personal preferences, it's always an Indian brand image. I mean, Indian centric brand campaign is always my personal preference. And in fact, because you asked this question, in fact, probably my hesitance or resistance towards SRH has also been because of this factor, where it is the brand has always revolved around foreign centric thing, which is not my preference for sure. I mean, somehow I always think of IPL to be an Indian Premier League. There was a stage where IPL had six captains. Probably that was a time where I was not at all happy with IPL that way, because I have a personal preference towards Indian centric brand, because I believe in IPL as a gateway for Indian players to uh, get trained and get better. uh, and if you ask as a marketer, even as a marketer, I think, considering the present scenario of Atmanirbhar Bharat and other things as well, I think it makes sense, at least for the next couple of years, to have an Indian centric campaign rather than a foreign centric campaign. uh, if you look at the rise of Delhi Daredevils, the fan base, I'm not
Right,
just
right,
talking about the rise of performance as well. And you can see the trend as well. The more emerging players come out of a team, uh, the more Indian emerging players come out of a team, the more seems to be the brand loyalty, not just loyalty in terms of brand preferences as well in the coming years. You
right,
can, I mean, I don't know if you can just look at the data, probably that might be a case.
right, right. I think in this season, Delhi Capitals was the only team who could play a particular match with 11 Indians. I think they had
Yeah,
that, they
I mean,
had that
and in
quality.
fact, that was the reason. I mean, if you'll ask my second preference now, which was never the case before, from 2019, my second preference has been for Delhi Capitals
Right,
along with Mumbai Indians. That seems to be my personal preference, or that seems to be the trend as well.
right. So, with the same line of thought, do you think is this one of the reasons why Rajasthan Royals has always been one of the lowest followed social media franchise, or one of the least talked about IPL franchise in IPL franchise, because of their over reliance on overseas players and all their campaigns relying around Josh Butler, Steve Smith, and Ben Stokes?
I think it is true, because if you observe the first season, it was probably core Indian players who have performed for Rajasthan Royals, the Shane Warne team as well. If you see,
Right.
Jadeja was there.
Yeah, they had
I think
Jadeja, Yusuf
3 or 4
Pathan.
solid
Yeah,
players,
yeah.
yeah, who have come out of the IPL and played for India from there only. But it is one of the reasons as well, because they really did not portray that Indian centric brand. It has always been that foreign centric brand, and probably they are more important. I mean, obviously, what you convey as a brand tells the whole of audience what your priorities are as well. And that is, yes, I agree. I mean, not nearly 99%, I agree that that is one of the key factors why Rajasthan, even for me, it has always been in the bottom end of preferences. Foreign, I mean, there seems to have that foreignness of preferences in them. And a bit of I don't know why, but a bit of t-shirt color as well, in case you want to go in that direction as well. Blue, yellow, and are preferred colors for me, more than I mean, that color doesn't seem to be that exciting for me.
Right, right. I can understand that. So, if you have to explain in one sentence that what is CSK's brand image, So how should they portray their brand image on social media so that even post Dhoni they can retain most of their fan base?
Uh, I mean, I can I can guarantee you, having known Tamil Nadu really well, I can guarantee you, as soon as you shift to a foreigners kind of, I mean, if they start portraying themselves in terms of how Rajasthan Royals portrays, that is going to be a disaster marketing campaign for CSK. That is for sure. Because especially people of Tamil Nadu are very much connected to their local culture. And that is why if you see CSK, it has always been that sort of a campaign. You wouldn't see that sort of a campaign almost in no other team.
Right.
So I think it is always going to be that local embeddedness in the campaign is probably a very important factor. And that should be the face, and that is why I think it makes sense for them to buy out Nataraj, people like Natarajan and Ashwin back into the team.
Right.
As soon as I'm sure it will have a drastic impact if they do not have even the Tamil players, and without Tala and Chinnatala there, it it might really get problematic. Especially I think there have been rumors of Duplessis taking up captaincy once Dhoni is unavailable. In that sense, it makes it even more important for them to focus on Indian central campaign, especially because it is Chennai Super Kings.
Right. 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 So one last question before we end this segment here is
Mm.
that if you are CSK's brand manager and you are handling their social media accounts, so will you only tweet in the Tamil language and focus on that local culture, or will you also see CSK as a pan India brand and tweet in English language and which appeals to the mass audience?
Uh, I would look at it this way. If I'm looking at text as a means of communication, it will always be English,
Right.
because though a large chunk of people in Tamil Nadu are fluent with speaking Tamil, not a very significant number of people are very fluent with reading and writing Tamil.
Right.
The same is the case with Telugu audience as well. So that might be a hinder, and especially because most of the Tamil audience do understand, are not negative towards English, but they are slightly having that negative preference towards Hindi. So if as soon as you tweet in Hindi, there might be a negative backslash, but not in English, because as long as it isn't Hindi, they would be, I think they would be more than happy. And if you see the background music, I think that is where the Tamil kind of background music will play a key role for them, uh, getting in that. You see the Tamil songs as well, you have a
Right.
separate essence in those songs. So I think background music will have my, if I'm a brand manager, background music towards Tamilian kind of music, and when it comes to uh, text, it is always English.
Yeah. So I thought this would be my last question, but your answer proved me to ask another one. That
Yeah, go on.
yeah. So SRH used this strategy very well this season, and their theme song really changed from "Go Go Go Orange Army" to "Butta Bomma" because of David Warner's dance. And in
Yeah.
every party they used to play that. So why is it that we don't see a similar trend in CSK that they dance to the local songs and
Acha, are you referring to CSK players not dancing?
yes, yes,
I
yes.
mean, not this season, but I remember CSK players having danced to a couple of Tamil tunes as well. In fact, I think 2012, 12 or 10. I mean, between 10 and 12, there were multiple instances where Deepika was the host, Priyanka was the host, at a larger audience as well, where CSK team actually dancing for Tamil songs. That then seemed to be a recent trend, but I think it is also because not these people are not really active as entertainers. Warner seemed to be completely he has dropped a bomb of marketing campaign, but that didn't seem to be. Bravo could have done something like that, but he has his separate brand image which he has to maintain for the Caribbeans as well. Whereas
Right.
Warner did not have that. Warner's specific brand was focused towards attracting SRH.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, just imagine MS Dhoni dancing for TikTok videos. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah. I think Jadeja could have done that. I think Jadeja is the
Yeah,
Jadeja
they
is the
could have
new
done
new
that
face of
knife fight
CSK.
and all.
Right.
Yeah, they could have done that knife fight and all. But I mean, if you see a lot of background music and all, it is very Tamil centric.
Right.
CSK.
Right. So the culture really plays a very important role for a fan to follow a particular IPL franchise.
I mean, I don't know if I should be answering this question with a yes, because I, on the other hand, I'm a CSK supporter, whereas for every aspect of my culture represents uh, Hyderabad.
Right. So okay, let me reframe this in another way. So
Yeah,
when a particular franchise maintains their brand image and aligns it with their respective local culture, then the fan following is more.
yeah, yes,
Right. So I think we should stop this episode with this conclusion.
yeah.
And it was really nice talking to you. And I think the viewers will get to learn a lot about why a fan from Hyderabad follows another franchise and not Hyderabad.
This can be a very good thumbnail. Fan from Hyderabad, but say a CSK fan. Anyways, all the
Right.
best for your for the next participants as well.
Yeah.
It was great talking to you, Deep.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.